There's something strange about certain homes. You walk in, everything looks perfect, fresh paint, spotless floors, sunlight pouring through the windows. But still, something feels off. Not haunted, just hollow. Like the walls are waiting for something that never arrived. Maybe you've felt it before, in a house that never quite felt like yours even years after you moved in. Or maybe you've known someone who moved into their dream home, only to watch tension creep into their relationships, sleep grow shallow, or finances slowly slip through the cracks. And yet, other homes, some even older, smaller, less glamorous, carry warmth the moment you walk in. It's not luck, it's energy, and how you begin inside a space sets the tone for everything that comes after. What you bring into a home first, before the sofa, before the Wi-Fi router, even before the coffee machine, matters more than most people realize. In Feng Shui, it's believed that the first object you carry through the front door imprints the home with the energy of your intention. It's like writing the very first sentence in the story of your life in that space. Whether that sentence is calm or chaotic, warm or weary, is up to you. And no, you don't need incense or chanting or anything that feels too much. This isn't about superstition. It's about presence, awareness, a quiet, conscious moment that can gently steer the future of your home toward peace, stability, and abundance. So in this video, we're going to walk through the 5 simple, powerful things you should bring with you the very first time you enter your new home, and the 5 subtle but serious mistakes to avoid on that same day. Because how you walk in is how your new life begins. Number 1. Bring in fire first so the house feels alive, not empty. Most people move into a new home with a moving truck full of things, but completely forget to bring in the one thing that makes the house come alive. They'll carry in mattresses, dishware, family photos, cleaning supplies, but they leave the most important thing for last. Or worse, they never bring it at all. That thing? Fire. Not a roaring fireplace, not a kitchen stove, just a small, lit flame, simple, quiet, intentional. A red candle, a tea light, a softly burning oil lamp. Because a house that hasn't felt fire is like a body that hasn't taken its first breath. It may be beautiful, even perfect on paper, but it's missing soul. We forget that spaces aren't just physical, they remember how we arrive. And the way you enter a home, the energy you carry, the very first object you place, sets the emotional tone for everything that will unfold there. Light, in the form of fire, isn't just symbolic. It's one of the most primal forms of energy we know. It's warmth, it's presence, it's movement, it's life. And when you bring fire into a space, you're not just turning on light. You're declaring this house is no longer empty. Someone is here. Life is beginning. If you've ever walked into a home that felt strangely cold, even though the thermostat said 72 degrees, you know exactly what I mean. There's a kind of chill that has nothing to do with temperature. It's emotional. It's energetic. It's the silence of a space that hasn't been woken up. That kind of chill can last for months or years. It makes people feel restless for no reason, irritable over small things, or just not fully at peace in their own home. You move in with excitement, and within weeks you find yourself tired, disconnected, or overwhelmed. The layout is fine, the decor is lovely, but the energy is stuck. Why? Because you skipped the spark. Fire is the beginning of all flow, not because it changes the air, but because it changes you. Carrying in a small flame requires you to pause, to walk slowly, to breathe deeper, to notice the stillness in the walls. The act of lighting that first candle is like striking a tuning fork that tells the house, I see you, I honor you, I'm ready. It's not a ritual of superstition, it's a ritual of presence. And in that presence, the space begins to shift. Imagine this: you arrive at your new home with your hands full of bags and boxes. You're exhausted. Everyone's shouting directions. You just want to get things done. But instead you walk in first, alone or with someone you trust. No rush. You hold a single red candle, lit and glowing. You step through the front door not as a mover, but as a soul returning home. You walk it through the hallway, maybe whisper a quiet thank you. Then you place it in the living room or the kitchen, wherever you imagine your family will laugh, eat, connect. You let it burn quietly for a few hours. And in that simple act, you awaken the space. People may never notice it out loud, but weeks later, when someone says, "It just feels good in here," you'll know why. Because homes are like instruments. If you don't strike the first note with intention, the rest of the melody feels off. But when the first vibration is warm, soft, alive, that feeling echoes through the walls, the furniture, the floor, the air. And you don't need to explain it. Everyone who enters will feel it. There's something ancient about fire. Something we've known since we lived in caves and lit fires to keep the dark away. Back then, fire meant safety, connection, survival. Today, it still means those things, but in quieter ways. A candle flickering in a room invites people to sit, slow down, be together. A flame in a new home doesn't just light the space. It tells the energy of the house it's time to wake up. Now let's be clear, you don't need anything dramatic. This isn't about bonfires or incense smoke. It's not a performance, it's a gesture, a moment of care. The flame can be small. In fact, the smaller it is, the more gentle its energy. It just needs to be clean, intentional, and safe. Never leave it unattended, but do give it time. Let the light reach the corners. Let the warmth linger in the air. Let the flicker of fire dissolve the leftover tension from construction noise, from the previous owners, from the years the house may have sat empty. Fire clears that. Quietly, softly, completely. And here's something even more meaningful. If you're moving in with family, every person can take a turn holding the flame. One by one, they each walk it to the center of the home and place their own energy into the space. That way, the house isn't just yours, it's everyone's. And the flame becomes a silent witness to this new beginning, where everyone is seen, everyone is home. Maybe that sounds too simple. But think of it this way: in the most sacred places on earth, temples, churches, memorials, what do people do? They light a candle. Why? Because flame carries more than heat. It carries hope, presence, a whisper that says, "I'm here, and this moment matters." Your new home deserves that. You deserve that. Not just to move in, but to arrive, fully, gently, with light in your hands and peace in your breath. So before you unpack a single box, before the furniture comes in, before the chaos of organizing takes over, bring fire. Just fire. And let that be your very first hello. Number 2. New broom. New mop, so you don't sweep old pain into your new life. There's one mistake most people make when they move into a new home, and they don't even realize it. They pack it without thinking. They carry it in without looking. And the moment they cross the threshold, they've already let the past seep into the future. What is it? They bring their old broom, their old mop, the same tools they used to clean floors that held years of stress, late-night arguments, slammed doors, tired routines. That broom swept up more than dust. That mop wiped up more than spills. They absorbed energy, memories, emotion. And when you bring them into your new home, even quietly tucked into a cleaning closet, you're doing something subtle but deeply symbolic. You're giving the past permission to follow you in. Now, maybe that sounds dramatic, but think about it. Every home holds history. Even if you weren't conscious of it at the time, your old living space was the backdrop for some of your most private moments, good and bad. And just like clothes can carry scent, physical objects can carry vibration. Especially the ones we touch often, use daily, and associate with cleansing. A broom isn't just a stick with bristles. It's a tool of transition, a quiet companion to your most ordinary days. And if you've used that broom through hard seasons, depression, grief, frustration, burnout, it knows. And it holds. You may not see it, but you feel it when you clean the new kitchen and the air still feels heavy. When you mop the bathroom and still feel rushed, anxious, unsettled. The past is silent, but it's present. Bringing a new broom and mop into your new home is not about wastefulness or being overly cautious. It's about clarity. A clean sweep isn't truly clean if it carries yesterday's weight. The act of choosing a new set, simple, fresh, untouched, says, "I am ready to do things differently." You're not just changing tools, you're changing tone, changing pace, changing how you care for your space. It's a declaration that says, this home will not inherit what that one carried. In many traditions around the world, from the American South to parts of Europe and Asia, brooms have long been symbols of spiritual housekeeping. Some cultures believe you should never sweep dirt out of your front door. Or never hand a broom directly to someone else, because energy travels through the bristles. And while you don't need to believe in folklore to understand energy, you've probably felt it. That sense of freshness when something is truly clean, not just physically, but emotionally. That moment after vacuuming or scrubbing a counter when the room feels lighter, as if it finally took a deep breath. That's what we're talking about, a home that can breathe with you. But to do that, it needs space, not just physical space, but energetic space. And the quickest way to crowd it is to reintroduce the emotional debris of your former life through your old tools. Let's be honest, moving is hard. Even when it's exciting. Even when it's for the better. You're uprooting yourself, rearranging routines, breaking old patterns. And in that swirl of logistics and fatigue, it's tempting to say, this old broom still works fine. But this isn't about whether it works. It's about what it carries. That mop may still be absorbent, but is it absorbing the version of you that always put herself last? That swept her needs under the rug for the sake of keeping the peace? That tried so hard to keep things clean on the surface while feeling overwhelmed underneath? Then maybe, just maybe, it's time to let her go. Not with anger, but with gentleness. The same way you'd fold an old quilt that kept you warm. Thank it silently and place it in a donation box. You honor what helped you, but you don't let it define where you're headed next. Buying a new broom doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be fancy. What matters is intention. You might pick one with a wooden handle that feels grounded in your grip. You might choose soft bristles that don't scratch your new floors. Or maybe you find one that's brightly colored, something cheerful, a quiet reminder that this is a new season. And when you use it for the first time, let that moment be slow. Sweep, not just to clean but to clear, to release, to prepare. Some people like to give their broom a name. Not literally, but emotionally. They think of it as a partner. This is the broom that will sweep up crumbs from dinners with laughter. This is the mop that will soak up bath water after long, relaxed nights. It sounds silly until you realize that assigning meaning is how we humans process change. We give names to things we love. We attach stories to the items that matter. And this broom, this mop, they're part of the first chapter in your new space. They don't need to be sacred, but they should feel intentional. And here's something few people talk about: cleaning can be healing. Not in a Pinterest, perfect house kind of way, but in a quiet, steady, personal kind of way. When you sweep slowly through your kitchen, when you mop the same hallway every few days, you're not just keeping up appearances. You're tending, you're witnessing, you're choosing to care. And that act of care has ripple effects on your mood, your sleep, your relationships. A clean home isn't just easier to live in. It's easier to return to, easier to trust, easier to love. So if you do one small thing before your furniture arrives, let it be this: walk into your new home holding a broom that has never touched another floor. Let your first strokes be slow and deliberate, like drawing fresh lines on blank paper. Let the mop you use have no memory of past messes. Let your cleaning tools be clean inside and out. Because when your hands are holding something new, your heart starts to believe that maybe, just maybe, you can be new, too. Number 3. Bring food, salt, and simplicity, because spaces need nourishment, too. We rarely think of houses as living things. They don't breathe like we do. They don't speak. They don't age with wrinkles. But deep down, we know some spaces feel alive. Some kitchens seem to hold laughter in the walls. Some living rooms have a kind of stillness that feels like safety. And some homes feel empty, even when everything is furnished. The difference isn't the square footage. It's not the designer backsplash or the open floor plan. It's something softer, something that can't be bought. And very often, it begins with food. Not a banquet, not a giant spread, but something humble, heartfelt, and carried with care. When you bring food into a new home, you're not just stocking the pantry. You're feeding the space. You're offering a gesture that says, this is a place where people will be cared for. No one here will go hungry. And that intention, quiet and grounded, shapes the way your home holds you. Because just like a body needs food to feel safe, so does a home. The simplest form of this practice is this: bring a small bundle of staple foods into the house before anything else. Rice, salt, Dry noodles, maybe a piece of bread, a jar of honey. You don't need a feast. These aren't offerings to impress, they're signals, anchors, seeds. Rice represents abundance. Salt symbolizes preservation, protection, and grounding. Dry goods speak to stability, the ability to last through seasons. And when placed gently in your kitchen, near the stove, or in a corner where family gathers, they send out a silent message: life will grow here. This home will feed, nourish, and protect. This isn't superstition, it's instinct. In every culture, food is the first language of love. We cook for people we care about. We bring soup to the sick. We bake cookies to comfort. We pass recipes down like family heirlooms. So when you walk into a new house with a handful of rice or a pinch of salt, you're not just following a tradition. You're starting a story. A new kitchen story. A new way of being held by a space. You'd be surprised how many homes feel anxious, not because of what's missing, but because they've never been fed. The stove sits unused for weeks. The dining table never hears conversation. There's no scent of spices in the air, no simmering pot, no bread cooling on the counter. A house may look perfect, but without nourishment, it can't hold warmth. It can't hold you. If you want your home to feel grounded from day one, place a bowl of rice on the countertop. Scatter a pinch of salt near each corner of the main rooms. It's not about magic, it's about meaning. These little actions speak volumes. They say we don't just live here, we thrive here. And here's where it gets even more personal. You can make this ritual your own. Maybe you bring a small jar of your favorite tea and place it in the cabinet first. Maybe you set out a wooden spoon that's been passed down from your mother's kitchen. Maybe you unwrap a loaf of bread and share it quietly with someone you love. No words, just a moment. That's what nourishment looks like. It's simple, but it's sacred. In many traditions, food is brought into a new home as an early blessing. Not for religion, for rhythm, to establish the first feeling of enough. Because when we're fed, we settle. Our shoulders drop, our breathing slows, we soften. And when your home sees you in that state, it remembers. It begins to associate its walls with comfort, its air with calm, its purpose with care. But just as important as what you bring in is how. Don't toss a bag of groceries onto the counter. Don't rush through the gesture. Carry the food like you're carrying a message. Walk slowly. Be aware. Be kind. Even if you're alone, even if it feels a little silly, let the moment mark something. A turning point. A planting. And for those who want to go deeper, there's the option of sprinkling rice or salt in thresholds or corners. These areas often collect unseen energy, tension, stress, stagnant air. A light scatter of rice in these places can act as a kind of gentle protection, a way to say, only good things are welcome here. You can leave it for a few hours, then sweep it up and discard it outside. Simple, respectful, quiet. Here's what most people miss: this isn't about belief. It's about relationship. Between you and your space. Between your home and your habits. Food is how we connect. And the first meal, or even the suggestion of a meal, tells the home we are here to stay, to build, to share. Think about your favorite memories in a home. They probably include a kitchen, a smell, a table, someone asking, "Are you hungry?" The moment you bring food into a house, you awaken that entire spectrum of emotion. You give the space a heart. Let your first food be humble. Let your first gesture be quiet. No need for elaborate rituals. Just presence. Just care. Because when the space feels fed, it relaxes. And so do you. And for those moving in with family, let everyone participate. Ask your children to carry in a bag of rice. Let your spouse place the salt on the counter. Even your pets, simply walking through a home that smells like food, will feel more at ease. It becomes a shared beginning, a shared table even before the table is set. You might not remember exactly what you brought on your first day, but your home will. It will remember the way you walked in, the way you placed that small bag of rice, the way you held the salt like it mattered. That memory, the home's memory, will become the foundation of how it holds you for years to come. So when the movers are carrying boxes and your arms are full of pillows or picture frames, pause and carry one small bag of nourishment first. Let it be your offering. Let it be your anchor. Because homes, just like hearts, don't stay full unless you feed them. Number 4. Carry a personal lucky item so the house recognizes your energy. Some people walk into their new home and immediately feel like strangers. The floors are clean. The lights are on. The furniture is arranged just right, but something doesn't click. It's like walking into a hotel room, organized, functional, but distant. You live there, but you don't quite belong yet. Why does that happen? Because a home doesn't fully open until it feels your energy. And if you don't bring something personal, something sacred, meaningful, quietly yours, it may never know who you really are. That's why on your first day, before anything else, you should carry in a personal lucky item. Small, simple, something that fits in the palm of your hand, but powerful enough to say, "This is me. I'm here now." You don't need to believe in luck in a superstitious way. You just need to believe in energy. And whether we realize it or not, certain objects absorb and hold ours. A folded dollar bill you've kept in your wallet for years. A smooth stone you picked up during a meaningful trip. A red envelope. A charm from your childhood. A bracelet tied with memory. These things carry more than weight, they carry presence. And when you walk into a space holding something that holds you, the home notices. It softens. It begins to attune. Every person has a unique energetic signature. No two are alike. And no matter how beautiful or expensive a home may be, it stays emotionally neutral until you imprint it. Without that imprint, it's just walls and ceilings. But with that one small object imbued with your story, your intention, your essence, you create a connection. You turn that house into something else entirely, your space. Imagine this: you step into your new home, holding nothing but keys and a to-do list. You move through the rooms, overwhelmed by logistics, what to unpack, where to place the TV, who's coming next. Everything feels like a task. Now imagine something different. You enter the same home, but in your pocket is a tiny item that grounds you. Maybe it's a silver coin your grandmother once gave you. Maybe it's a photo folded into your palm. Maybe it's a crystal that feels cool against your skin. And as you walk through the house, you remember yourself. You're not just a person checking boxes, you're a presence arriving with meaning. The energy shifts. You notice the light falling through the window. The silence begins to feel welcoming, not empty. The house starts to listen. This practice is about anchoring. Homes, like people, crave familiarity. They need something to hold on to. A personal lucky item is not decoration, it's a symbol. A message that says, you're not moving in as a stranger. You're claiming this space with heart. You don't have to explain it to anyone. It doesn't need to be expensive or right by anyone else's standards. It just needs to matter to you. When you hold it, you should feel steadier, seen, safe. And when you place it in your new home, even if just for a moment, you transfer that stability into the space. Some people choose to keep the item on them inside a pocket or bag as they walk through the rooms. Others like to place it somewhere special, on a windowsill, by the front door, in a drawer they'll open daily. Wherever you choose, do it with care. Set it down gently, as if introducing it to the home. Because that's what you're doing. You're saying, this is who I am. And this is what I bring into this chapter of my life. In many homes, especially when families move together, this ritual becomes even more powerful. Each person carries their own item, not chosen for trend but for truth. The child might bring a small toy or favorite button. The partner, a journal, a stone, a keychain that's traveled miles. Even pets, though they may not hold an object, carry their energy, their curiosity, their calm, their comfort. And as each soul enters with their unique frequency, the house begins to form a tapestry, a layered field of connection that makes the space feel whole. And here's something important: this ritual isn't about fixing anything. It's not a guarantee that everything in the home will be perfect. Life will still happen. There will still be days when the oven breaks, or someone slams a door, or the dog gets sick. But when the foundation is woven with intention, the space can hold those moments with grace. It can absorb the bad without breaking. It can amplify the good without feeling performative. And that starts with a small, silent, sacred imprint, yours. Some people ask, what if I don't have a lucky item? But the truth is, we all do. We just don't always recognize them. Think of the object you reach for when you're nervous. The one you keep near you even when it serves no function. The item you'd grab if you had 5 seconds to evacuate. That's the one. It may not be pretty. It may not be valuable. But it's real. And realness is the only requirement here. And if you truly can't think of one, then create one. Today, fold a small piece of paper and write a wish. Pick up a pebble from your backyard and hold it while you imagine peace. Tie a ribbon around a key and breathe deeply into the moment. What you're doing is embedding meaning, giving the object life, giving yourself a way to begin. In the weeks and months to come, this item may move or change. You may place it in a drawer and forget it for a while. That's okay. The home already received the message. The connection is there. What matters most is how you entered, with care, with intention, with something in your hand that said, I know who I am and I'm here. So when you start packing boxes or making checklists, don't forget the one thing that's not on Amazon, the one thing that doesn't come with installation instructions. Choose your lucky item and carry it like a whisper into your new home. Because when a house hears your energy clearly from the very first step, it responds. It softens, it welcomes you in, and it begins to remember who it's meant to hold. Number 5. Bring water so fortune can start to flow. We don't often think of water as a blessing. It's just there, running from taps, sitting quietly in glasses, flowing invisibly through pipes. But in the story of your home, water is more than function. It's flow. And flow is everything. It's the difference between a life that expands naturally and one that feels stuck no matter how hard you try. So when you move into a new home, before you set up the internet, before you unbox the TV, before the rugs are rolled out and the curtains go up, bring water, not just as hydration, but as a quiet, powerful signal to your new space. We're ready for movement. We're ready to receive. Water has always symbolized wealth. Not just money, but all kinds of abundance, health, clarity, freedom, opportunity. In ancient cultures, access to water meant life. Communities were built beside it. Rituals were performed with it. And even now, in a world of instant plumbing, the spiritual meaning hasn't changed. Water flows, and with it, so do we. When it stagnates, things go wrong. Energy gets heavy. Conversations get tense. Dreams dry up before they take root. But when water moves, everything else begins to move with it. So what does it mean to bring water into your new home? It can be simple. A glass pitcher filled with clean, filtered water. A small bowl sprinkled with salt or flower petals. Even just a sealed bottle placed intentionally on the kitchen counter. What matters most isn't the size, it's the care behind it. You're not just bringing in liquid. You're bringing in movement. You're saying, let energy circulate. Let good things come in. Let the stuck things go. It's a quiet act but deeply felt. Place the water where it makes sense to you. Some put it near the kitchen sink, the symbolic heart of nourishment. Others prefer the front entrance so that every time the door opens, the flow is refreshed. You could even set it in the center of the house, anchoring balance and calm. Some people add a pinch of sea salt for purification. Others drop in rose petals or lavender to gently scent the space. There's no one rule, just your intention. And how you carry the water matters, too. Don't grab it like you're carrying a grocery bag. Hold it like it holds meaning. Because it does. Walk slowly. Breathe steadily. Let your steps be soft. You're not just entering a house. You're inviting it to come alive. Think of it like waking someone from a long, silent sleep. You wouldn't shout or shake. You'd whisper. You'd bring light. You'd bring something pure. That's what this water is, a beginning. A ripple. A first gentle invitation. Some people like to say a quiet word while placing the water down. Not a prayer, just a promise. Let peace flow here. Let joy move through these walls. Let nothing be stuck. Even if you say nothing at all, your presence says plenty. Your choice to carry in water, to place it with care, to start your new chapter with fluidity, it speaks louder than any words. And if you've ever lived in a home where things felt stuck, you know the feeling this practice helps prevent. Rooms that feel heavy no matter how much you clean. Projects that never finish. Sleep that comes late and restless. Tension that creeps in for no clear reason. Often, the space itself is holding on to what should have already moved. Water helps dissolve that. Water doesn't force. It doesn't break. It softens. It finds a way. It clears pathways. Not with violence, but with consistency. And here's the truth: bringing water into your home also brings softness into you. In a move filled with lists, deadlines, broken nails, forgotten screws, missing cords, this small act returns you to stillness. It reminds you don't have to carry everything. You can let some things flow. You can let the house carry you too. You're not alone. There's rhythm here. There's help. There's grace. Let your family be part of this, too. Give your child a glass to carry. Show them how to walk slowly, how to place it gently. Let your partner pour water into a bowl with you, silently aligning your energy in the act. Even your pets feel it. Water soothes, settles, harmonizes. The whole home begins to sync, without effort, without fanfare. Over time, that water might evaporate. You'll pour it down the sink, or water a plant with it, or refresh it weekly. That's part of the process. Flow is not about keeping things the same. It's about honoring the cycle. In, out, fill, release. And when the home sees you practicing that, even in a small, subtle way, it mirrors you. It lets go more easily. It welcomes newness more freely. It stops clinging to the past. You may never see the effect directly, but you'll feel it. A lightness in the air. A sense that ideas come more easily, that conversations feel easier, that your mornings begin more gently, all from one simple act: bringing in water first. And if you don't feel it right away, don't worry. Water doesn't rush. It moves in its own rhythm, but it never stays still for long. Even one drop on the right path can carve out a new direction. Just give it space. Trust it. Trust yourself. So while others unpack first, rush first, build first, you flow first. You begin with the softest, strongest thing. You begin with water, because the moment you bring it in, your home learns how to move with you, not against you. Let it be the first thing your house drinks. Let it carry your hopes without needing explanation. Let it say, from here on out, everything flows. 5 subtle mistakes that silently block energy. Some homes feel off before you even realize what's wrong. You settle in. You unpack. You light a candle. You try to make it yours. But something keeps resisting, like an invisible weight, pulling the energy down. And it doesn't come from the layout, the lighting, or the furniture. It comes from the energy you unknowingly invited in on day one. The truth is, most people make a few small choices during their move that seem harmless but quietly shift the emotional foundation of their home. Not with a bang, but with a whisper. So quiet, they never notice until things start to feel heavier, slower, stuck. These aren't dramatic mistakes. They're subtle, but they matter. Because the first 24 hours are when your home is listening most closely. It's still soft clay, and what you press into it stays. Mistake 1: taking a nap on move-in day. It's tempting. After hours of lifting, sweating, arranging, and decision fatigue, your bed is finally set up, and your body begs for a break. But resting too soon can signal more than physical exhaustion. It can imprint the space with stagnation. You're stepping into a new chapter, but the first message your energy sends is pause, retreat, withdraw. The house picks up on that. The flow slows. And what should have begun in momentum starts with sleep. Instead of napping, try gentle movement, play soft music, make tea, walk the space barefoot. Let the energy stay awake. You'll rest better that night because the house will feel alive with you. Mistake 2: breaking something. Accidents happen. A dropped dish, a chipped vase. But breakage on day 1 carries emotional charge: disruption, disappointment, even tension between family members. And those first cracks don't just show up in the ceramic. They echo in the atmosphere. Loud noises, sharp objects, sudden movement, all these can stir up unsettled energy. On move-in day, aim for grace. Unpack mindfully. Save fragile items for later. And if something does break, don't panic, pause. Take a breath, say something gentle. Then open a window, light a soft scent, and reset the mood. What matters most isn't perfection, it's presence. Mistake 3: arguing or raising your voice. Stress runs high on moving day. You're hungry, tired, overwhelmed. It's easy to snap, but words spoken in tension don't just disappear, they hang in the air, long after the boxes are gone. A raised voice becomes part of the room's memory. A single harsh sentence can leave a sharper mark than any scratch on the floor. This is the day to protect the emotional tone of your home. Speak kindly, even in chaos. Laugh when things go wrong. Offer help before it's asked for. Choose calm even if it's messy calm. Because once the house hears your love, it knows how to hold it. Mistake 4, involving someone in mourning or deep grief. This one's delicate. When someone close to you is grieving, it's natural to want them near. But the energy of fresh grief is tender, heavy, vulnerable. A new home needs light, stable energy to build from. Bringing in sorrow unprocessed, raw can confuse that foundation. It's not about exclusion, it's about timing. Let those in mourning come after the space has settled, after the energy has found its rhythm. That way, the home can hold them gently without carrying the weight of their loss in its walls. Mistake 5, letting the home feel empty. Maybe your things are delayed. Maybe the movers are late. But if your home feels bare on its first day, no music, no scent, no warmth, it starts on a frequency of absence. That silence echoes, and it can take time to reverse. Instead, fill the space with small signals of life. Open the curtains, play a favorite playlist, light a candle, cook something, even if it's simple. Let the house know someone lives here, that it's not a shell, it's a shelter, a place with heartbeat and breath. The first day in a new home is more than a milestone, it's a message. What you do in those first few hours, what you carry in, what you say, how you move becomes the emotional DNA of your space. That doesn't mean you need to be perfect. Just aware, just gentle, just willing to begin with care. Because homes remember beginnings. And long after the boxes are gone and the shelves are filled, the energy from day one still lingers, either as a quiet blessing or a subtle block. Choose your beginning with love. Your home will meet you there. So now maybe you're sitting in a new home, or maybe you're preparing for one. Maybe the walls are still bare, or maybe they're already holding years of your memories. But wherever you are, there's something sacred in the way you choose to begin again. This wasn't just a list of tips. It wasn't about candles or brooms or salt. It was about presence, about choosing to cross a threshold with awareness instead of autopilot, about realizing that spaces, just like people, respond to the energy we offer them. And whether you believe in Feng Shui, science, or simply the weight of emotion, there's something universal here. What we do on the first day becomes the rhythm of every day after. Neuroscience tells us that our brains remember beginnings more vividly than middles or ends. It's called the primacy effect. It's why we remember first impressions, first kisses, first steps. Homes remember, too. Not because they have minds, but because you do. And what you feel on that first day, the tension, the stillness, the warmth, the laughter, sets a tone you'll feel in subtle ways for years to come. That's why we lit fire, to awaken life. That's why we swept gently, to release the past. That's why we brought food, to nourish. That's why we held lucky items, to anchor ourselves. That's why we carried water, to invite flow. And that's why we avoided what blocks energy, not because we fear bad luck, but because we respect beginnings. Your home isn't just a place to sleep. It's where your thoughts echo, where your memories land, where your future is quietly written, day by day, without announcement. So choose to begin with love, with simplicity, with calm. You don't have to get everything right. Just start soft, start slow. Start in a way your heart will remember. Thank you truly for being here, for staying, for letting these quiet moments reach you. If this video has given you something, a thought, a breath, a pause, know that's all it was meant to do. I wish you peace in every corner of your new space. May your walls hold laughter. May your floors carry lightness. And may your very first step always lead to something good. We'll see each other again, somewhere gentle,